Hi everybody, so today we're gonna do like a New Year's Eve makeup look, and it's gonna be super glittery, super fun, and kind of a statement really. I've already done my base just because you've seen me do it a few times already, so I don't think, and I'm not doing anything different really. I used the Kogan Dough Aqua Foundation, and I have like a full day wear test on my Instagram in my highlights about this, and this is an awesome foundation. It's very hyped, and for good reason. It looks very natural on the skin. It's like a very natural texture. It looks like when you put on like moisturizer and that's it. I really like it. And I used concealer, and I used the Too Faced Born This Way because the makeup look that I'm doing is very light and silvery, and I'm not using dark colors at all. I don't need a lot of concealer, and this can be very heavy, so I just dotted it very lightly and blended it in with my fingers so that the warmth of my finger would like melt it into the skin, and it would be imperceivable really, because the foundation is so natural. I don't want my under eye to be like super cakey and heavy, and then you can see like a very intense contrast from the under eye to the rest of my face. Okay, so we're gonna start with the eyes, and I'm gonna use one of the Giorgio Armani liquid shadows, and I'm gonna use it all over my eyes. Well, not really all over, like 3/4 of the way along, and I'm gonna take it a tiny bit over the crease, and I'm just gonna take a synthetic brush and blend the edge. Before you put on the glitter, because we're gonna put it all over the eyelids, it's really important that you use a base so that the glitter looks more uniform on top, because otherwise if you put it on bare eyelids, it's a look and it can look pretty, but the glitter is gonna look more like spaced out. So this is going to give it like a more uniform base and overall look and feel. Next, I'm gonna go with a Laura Mercier Caviar Stick, and this is a tiny bit darker, and I'm just gonna use it in the corner, in the outer corner, just for some depth and intensity. And I'm gonna go ahead and blend the edges. I'm blending past my crease a little bit. However, I don't want it to be super intense because, like I said, the overall look is gonna be more like silvery and it's gonna have a lot of light. Also, the fact that you're using cream shadows makes it easier for the glitter to stick to. However, the glitter that I'm using comes suspended in like a gel that makes it stick to the eye, so you don't have a lot of drop down. It is going to fall somewhat over the as it wears out, but not as if you were using like regular loose glitter. And because I knew I was using cream shadows, I did my base first. Because if I was using a loose glitter and then powder shadows, I would have done my base after, because the glitter would have been impossible to remove. And don't worry if this is not perfectly blended. That's fine. We're gonna cover it. We're gonna cover the whole of the eye with glitter, so that's okay. Now I'm gonna take the same Giorgio Armani shadow, and I'm gonna do the bottom lash line all the way from the inner corner to join the outer corner there. Make sure that when you're using these cream shadows, you work really fast, because once they set and they don't move. Okay, so now we're gonna play with the glitter, and we're using Melrose, which is a Space Jam by Lemonhead and Violet Grape. They did a collaboration, and this is what came out. It's like a mix of pink and silver and gold glitter, and it has like different sizes of glitter. So it has like bigger chunks and very small glitter, and it's amazingly beautiful. So I'm gonna take it with a flat brush, a flat synthetic brush. And I'm just using like a cheap brush because I feel like the glitter in here is impossible to remove afterwards. And I'm just gonna start applying it on my eyelids, starting in the center and then spreading it. Don't be so precious about it. Just make sure that you put it all over, even past the crease. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that, but I want to put a tiny bit more in the center. And I know it looks like a tiny bit crazy right now, but it's gonna look better once we do mascara, because the mascara is gonna frame the eye. And the fact that this glitter comes suspended in this base, it makes it so much easier. There's no fallout, there's no mess. It's just very convenient like this. And they have a bunch of different shades. They have all possible combinations. It's really good fun. Now we're going to do the rest of the face, and I didn't powder because I find that this foundation lasts really well. It's not shiny, and it doesn't make me greasy, and the concealer sets really well. So I'm not going to powder at all, and I'm going to use a cream to powder blush. So I'm using the Clinique, what is this, Cheek Pop? Yeah, in Pink Honey Pop, which is a very natural pinky shade. I don't want anything too intense, just because I don't want anything distracting from the eyes. I forgot to do mascara. I'm gonna do that just after I do my blush. And I also wanted to mention that I did my brows. I didn't do much because I knew that the eye look was gonna be very intense. So I just used a tiny bit of soap brow and brushed them up. However, if you feel like you need to fill them in, do so, but try to do it very lightly, just because of what I said. You don't want anything distracting from the eye makeup. I'm going to use a tiny bit of highlighter, and I'm using this one, which is Incandescent Light by Hourglass. This packaging is very beat up. I don't want anything too intense, just to keep the rest of the makeup somewhat natural. Okay, so I'm doing mascara right now, and I'm really coating the lashes just because I feel like it's important to give some definition to the eye, because so far we only have like shimmery things all over the eyes. So this is really going to frame the eyes, and they're gonna really stand out against the shimmery backdrop. And I'm looking at this, and I feel like my eyes are missing something, so I'm gonna use a bit of black pencil in my tie line. And a good trick when doing this is just looking away from the pencil, just so that your eyes don't get like watery. So the only thing left to do now is the lips, and I'm gonna use Lip Cheat in Pillow Talk by Charlotte Tilbury. And I'm going to fill them in because this is going to make the lipstick last longer. And hopefully we're gonna be like drinking and having a good time and partying. So we don't want to be too precious about our makeup. I mean, we don't want something that's too high maintenance. And I'm gonna do Penelope Pink on top. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you have an amazing new year, and I'll see you guys next year.